more minutes for everybody to join in. Our cast is ready. And we are going to start shortly. While we wait for everybody to join in, I want to take this moment to introduce and reiterate what enthusiastic is all about. Enthusiastic is where family and friends come together to share what they love and to find new things to learn. We strive to create an enriching environment for kids and adults alike and to promote lifelong pursuit of fun and collaborative approach to learning. Enthusiastic brings liveliness and vigor to all by helping each other selflessly, and providing confidence with enthusiasm, of course, energy and excitement through community building. I hope you have joined our previous events. If not, if you are here for the first time, welcome. We are absolutely delighted to have you here. Let's give a couple of more minutes for everybody to join in. So this is our trailer that you may have seen it before. This is Navya as Mata Sita, Arman as Lakshman, Anushka as Shupnakha, Arman as Hanuman, Anika as Mandodri, Rayan as Jatayu. Anika is also a narrator, and she has also done the Vibhishan's role.
My name is Vinay and I'm going to be acting as Shri Ram in this show. My name is Samudra and I'm going to be acting as Ravan in this play.
Hi, my name is Anushka and I'm going to be playing the role of Surpanaka.
Hello, I'm Sita.
My name is Arman and I will be acting Hanuman.
Hi, I'm Anika and I'm going to be playing three roles: Queen Mandodari, narrator, and Vibhishan.
Hi, my name is Rayan. I'm going to play Jatayu role. Hi, my name is Navya. I'm going to play Sita role.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourself. For audience, as you know, Ramayana is such a big holy story. we didn't have enough time to cover the whole story. So we are going to be enacting a very small part of it. And it starts um, where Ram, Lakshman, and Sita went to jungle, and Shupnakha comes. Hold on, let me just share my screen, and here we go. I'm not able to share my screen. Do I need a host privilege?
Yes, let me check.
Okay.
I just changed it.
Hi, Mamta, please try now.
It still is not like my share screen is giving me. Oh, yeah, I can see it now. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Wait, I need to. Technical difficulties. Give me a minute.
Yes, sure, no worries. So, Anshi, we can mute all the participants. There will not be any disturbance in between.
Can you hear? For some reason, I am not able to hear.
Not long after Ram set up a camp by a river in the middle of a forest, he was visited by a demon. Her name was Surpanaka. She immediately fell in love with both the prince.
Hello, young man. You are so handsome. Would you marry me?
No, I cannot. I'm already married.
Forget her. I can be a better wife than any woman.
Married you forever. Pursue my brother if you wish.
Hello. Why didn't I look at you before? You are really cute. Will you marry me? Your brother is very arrogant.
I'm sorry. This is not possible. I am a servant, and if you marry me, you will also become one. But you should become my brother's second wife.
Then I will have to kill his first wife.
Never joke with ignorant people.
Lakshman cut off Sarpanakhan's ears and nose. Sarpanakhan ran away to her brothers Kara and Dushan. They went to fight with Ram and both were killed in battle along with the rest of their army. She then ran to her brother Ravan.
Duhai ho, Raja Ravan ki duhai ho. Brother, save me, please.
What happened? Who did this to you?
The two princes of Ayodhya. I was trying to bring Sita to you, but Ram and Lakshman cut off my ears and nose.
I'll teach them a lesson. A magical deer was roaming around Ram's cottage. Look! This golden deer is so shiny, glittery, and beautiful.
I do not believe in golden deer. It's just not possible. I think it's a demon.
It's adorable.
What you can see can be untrue. If it's a demon, I'll kill it. If it's a deer, I'll capture it. Don't leave Sita alone. I'll be back soon.
When Ram went closer, the deer started to run and Ram followed.
Lakshman, help! Save me, I'm going to die.
Go help your brother. He's calling for your help.
It's a trick. It cannot be real. It's a demon. It can be a demon. They change forms whenever they desire. My brother would never cry for help.
Help me, please!
Save my husband right now, or else I will go.
I am supposed to stay and protect you. You will not go anywhere.
Go, or else I will kill myself.
Okay, I'm going. Don't cross the sacred line. It will protect you.
Lakshman had no choice. He drew the sacred line and went off to find his brother. Ravan went to Sita, dressed as a holy man.
Biksham Dehi Mata, do you have any food for me? Please, I'm very hungry.
Yes, 1 minute. Please accept these fruits. But when Ravan went to get the fruit, he couldn't get past the magic line. Every time he tried, he was pushed behind the line by a magical force. He became angry.
I will not take your food. You need to come here and give it to me.
I can't do that. Please understand.
You have no respect for a holy man. I'll go get food somewhere else.
Okay, please don't leave. As soon as Sita stepped out, Ravan dragged her away. Sita cried for help, but no one could hear her except for Jatayu, the king of birds. Jatayu was very weak and old. He tried to follow them, but he couldn't keep up with Ravan.
Stop! No! You cannot stop me.
Stop, or I bite your arms off.
You can't do anything to me, and I'll cut off your arms.
Don't.
Who has done this to you?
Kidnapped Sita. Sorry, I could not save her. Sita was kept captive in Ravan's kingdom in his famous Ashoka Vatika, which was full of Ashoka trees. Ravan's wife, Mandodari, tries to tell Ravan that he is wrong.
If you accept my proposal, then I'll make you my secure queen.
Don't you feel any shame? You have kidnapped me because you are scared of my husband.
Don't insult me. Either you marry me or you die.
I will go to my husband or I will die. Ravan rushed towards Sita in anger to kill her, but stopped by his wife, Queen Mandodari. It's a sin to kill a faithful married woman.
If you don't change your mind in once, I will kill you. I am the messenger, Ram. Can you identify this ring?
Does Ram miss me?
He's very sad and misses you a lot. I can take you back, but I don't have permission. If you wait, Ram will be here soon. He will destroy the demons and take you with him.
How can he conquer the demons with just monkeys helping him?
His kindness makes everything possible. Could you please give me something so I can prove I met you?
Take this. And tell him if he is not here in a month, I will not be alive. Bajam Bali Ki Jai. 12. Hanuman purposely destroyed Ravan's garden and was summoned to Ravan.
Who are you? Why did you destroy your garden? I'm the messenger of Ram, whose wife you have kidnapped. I was eating a fruit and your guard attacked me, so I attacked back. Ravan, I suggest you return to Sita and Ram will forgive you. Otherwise, face the consequences. Your death is near. I don't need anybody's advice or command.
Brother Ravan, killing a messenger is not correct.
Okay, burn his tail and let him go.
Hanuman narrated Sita's message to Ram. Ram came to Lanka with his army of monkeys and fought a fierce battle. Vibhishan, Ram's brother, reveals the secret to kill Ravan, and Ravan is killed. Vanquishing the demons, Ram, Lakshman, Sita, and Hanuman returned victoriously to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile. The entire kingdom of Ayodhya celebrated Ram's return. It was a dark new moonlight. The citizens of Ayodhya lit ghee lamps to show Ram the way. Since then, this festival of lights is celebrated every year as Diwali. Ram was coronated and he ruled as an ideal king for many, many years. The entire kingdom
Let's just say Jai Siya Ram. Can we unmute everybody so that we can all say Jai Siya Ram?
Jai Shri Ram.
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 Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
अले कौन है भाई?
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our play. Can we spotlight our participant for just 1 or 2 minutes so that they can take a bow? They have worked very hard. This is their first time or our first time to do it. Kids were they were amazing. They worked really hard on it. So if we could
message Audrey something.
can we spotlight add spotlight on kids?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, Anshi. I'm gonna start calling them, and they can say take a bow. Let me know, Anshi, once spotlight is done, and then. Suruchi, come on. Suruchi, we would like to see you.
Can you see me?
Yes. So Shriram's mom, Suruchi, she is our director. She has coached like many hours. She has worked with every kid. and told how to act in front of the camera within the Zoom, still emote, how to do the costume arrangement. She has done everything. So thank you, Suruchi.
Thank you,
Very
thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you, Mamta, for the nice words.
So we
It was
have
really
Mamta
amazing.
also here. I want to
Yes.
Anshi, can you spotlight Suruchi auntie and Mamta both together?
Yeah, so Ruchi and Sana are in the same screen, so
Okay,
she has
Suruchi.
already
Yeah, so
spotlighted.
Ram need to be everywhere. So it's perfect. We need Ram in all the hearts. Right? So that's what we want. And so I want Mamta also spotlighted. Suruchi. Oh, sorry.
Anchi.
Anchi. So both, actually you can do both or spotlight together.
I don't think I
Please
can.
Okay, okay. Make me host,
Please,
Suruchi.
important.
Okay, let me make myself host and I will do. All right. So let me add Suruchi. I mean, there is so much hard work behind the scene.
No, kids really did great. They were so enthusiastic about it. They never missed a rehearsal. They were always on time, practiced their lines on time. And on our last day of rehearsal, they were really sad and asked me, "Are we not going to have any more shows?"
So
But stay
after,
tuned.
yeah, so after seeing this play, I think everyone must want more Ram Leela, like complete Ramayana with this crew and cast. So we really want, and I think everybody must be wanted it. So now I want to say big applause to this to our crew. This director, our director is Suruchi, and she has a really great experience in theater. She has the real experience, and by profession she is a chemical engineer, but she did a theater. She has theater experience just because of enthusiasm about this. So because of that, she and everything was free and nothing. It was just because of enthusiasm. She and along with Mamta. So another person who is behind it is Mamta, who is also like selflessly working behind it and helped us, Suruchi, as even though she has no background in the play thing, but she did the way she did is like nobody can see she is not having any background in on theater. So she is like our main person in the behind the scene along with Suruchi all the time. So amazing. I really want everybody clap for these beautiful ladies who did such an amazing job in such a short period and in Zoom. It's impossible. We never thought that we can do it in on virtual background during this COVID-19. So everyone, I am requesting everyone, please give a big applause by clapping.
Thank you very much. Now I really want kids like they should bow and
Now
they really did great. We can say their
so
names
let me
and they can take a bow.
spotlighted everybody here who are amazing. Okay, I think Navya can help. Tune Mandodari. I will say name also. So we have Kyun Mandodari. Everybody is so special here actually. See, here is the Kyun Mandodari. And she played the Vibhishan role also. So that's crazy. So we have Sita here. We have who is okay, mom, no.
So we need Hanuman, we need Ravan.
Yes. So you can.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Ravan here. So he's acting like amazing. I think you must have seen the way he laugh and everything. Right. So and Jatayu. So he's the youngest
He's our
participant.
youngest cast.
We have okay, and we have Hanuman and Lakshman and Suputra. So Hanuman is the one who played the Lakshman role also. So
No, it was really, really great. Everybody, if all the cast can take a bow for the audience, because the main part of any show is the audience, because we perform for audience, and they are really the key of our shows.
Yes. Take a bow.
So take a bow.
Okay, one more time. A big clap for everyone.
Good job. Very good job. You totally rocked.
Awesome.
Awesome. So I think we can. Do you guys want to say anything about your experience?
I had a fun experience in this class because I've been in many plays and I did many roles. So I had a really good experience in this class.
Okay, very nice, Mandodari and Queen Mandodari and Vibhishan and narrator. Great job. And anyone else want to say something?
I enjoyed this skit.
You enjoyed it, Jetayu?
I have a little bit of experience too. I've been in Argonaut. I've been doing Argonaut is my school, and I've been doing the Shrek musical over there. And I was Baby Bear. Sadly, I only had 3 lines.
So nice, Ram. Yeah, I don't want to say Raman to you now anymore. So now next one is, who is next? Who want to say something?
I would like to say
Anushka. Yeah, Anushka, go ahead.
I would like to say that this was a really memorable and amazing experience working with all these really cool and funny people. And yeah, so thank you guys.
Okay, great, Anushka. Amazing. And how about our Hanuman and Lakshman, who played 2 roles?
This was my first time acting, and I really enjoyed it a lot.
Great, Arman. Thank you so much for taking this role. Amazing. And anyone else? Sita, you want to say something?
Yeah. This is my first time doing skit, same as Arman, and I have done music, I have done performances.
But in acting, it was first one.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy?
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot.
You want to do more? Okay, awesome. So anyone? Oh, Sane?
Sana, yeah, Shriram.
Shriram.
Shriram is gonna say, never argue with ignorant people.
Awesome. So,
this was a good experience of my life, though I've got better experiences.
awesome. Great, Shriram, and all the participants, our director, producer, everybody. So I really want to say thanks on behalf of everybody. And I think we will do more skits, even in the Zoom, even at COVID or any situation, we will definitely do a lot of things now. So thanks again, the whole team. And now we will proceed with the next program, which is, I think Mamta is going to announce. And we can remove the spotlight now. So see, Navya can help. Okay, great. Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is we have Jyoti Amma, who does the Diwali story. And also we have a short bandish from Gwalior Gharana. So stay tuned. Is Jyoti Amma, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Ah, okay. Welcome, welcome. I've heard that you host Diwali party every year. This time, this is because of COVID, we are doing it on Zoom. So new experience, but we are looking forward to your story.
Thank you, Mamta. I want to say thank you to all the people who put together this beautiful Ramayana skit. It was amazing. I was sitting here watching and saying, I have never seen more creative kids put together such a beautiful story. How am I going to tell the story any better than what they've already shown us? So congratulations, very well done. Very proud of all of you, and you look amazing. with that virtual background, I really felt I was in the forest with you. I was in the palace in Sri Lanka with you. That was so good. You've done a remarkable job. I'm very happy and very proud of you. So who's ready to listen to the rest of the story or a different version of the same story?
I'm ready.
Excellent.
I'm ready. Also, I'm watching this on YouTube, and I just put a comment in there.
Very nice. Because you're all so creative, and I saw how wonderfully you did the play, I want to start off by a request for you. Because as I tell the story, I want you to be doing something creative too. So I'm going to, before I start the story, I'm going to show you a few things. So when you have Diwali, we light lamps. They're made of clay. And I don't know if you already have some in your house or not, but if you do, maybe you want to take the clay lamp, if it's plain like that, and bring your paints out and paint that. Or
I've made one of those.
Wonderful, very nice. You're ahead. I'm just trying to think of some ideas because you're so creative that I think if I just talk and you are not creating, you might get bored. So here's another idea. If you have paper and pencils or crayons and colors, you can make a sign like that one, and then you can decorate it to where you will do your Diwali puja. And if you prefer a plain one without the pattern, this is the Om sign. And you can make an elaborate patterned one or a plain one. The other thing you can do is make the Ganesh sign, because Diwali is also the new year. So if you're drawing on paper and pencil, you can make this sign as you listen to the story. And this is the Sri Ganesh sign that says Happy New Year. And if you are an older child who can write, or maybe your parents can help you draw the outline if you don't know Hindi, you can also make
books
a
and one of them
sign that
got
says
published.
Shubh Labh.
I have the pictures, Shubh Labh. I have it on a wall.
Wonderful. And if none of these ideas appeal to you, you can draw whatever you want. And
I also have Shubh Labh on the wall.
wonderful. Did you make it yourself?
No, my Baba made it. My
Very-
grandfather.
Very nice.
My daddy made it.
And now you can make it too, right?
Yeah.
You can have one made by everybody in the family. So what I'm going to do is, I have a friend here with me. Her name is Lakshmi, and she sings beautifully, and she sings music that is as old as the story. The Ramayana story is 5,000 years old. And 5,000 years ago, people were singing music. And she knows that music because she has a good teacher who had a good teacher who had a good teacher who had a good teacher all the way 5,000 years ago. And she sings with that same way of singing as it used to be then. So I'm going to ask her to sing a song. It's the song of when Rama was born in Ayodhya. And while Lakshmi is singing, if you don't already have your paper and pencil or paint jobs or something creative to do, you can listen to her singing and go get your supplies so that before the story starts, you can be doing something creative. Is that okay? So Lakshmi, over to you to start us off with the song.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. And I want to thank all of you for having me here today. It's my very great pleasure. And I really enjoyed watching the episodes of the Ramayana. And what I'll be singing for you today is a classical bandish, what we call a bandish in Rag Durga. And the bandish is really a poem. And the poem talks about what a good day it is today, because today Ramji was born in Ayodhya in his father King Dasharath's house. And it talks about also how the entire ground seems to be full of jewels, right? And there in the cradle, there is the little baby Ram. He's being pushed in the cradle. And that is what this song is about. So I hope you enjoy it. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yep.
Yes.
आज सनाथ भाई अयोध्या राजा दशरथ घर राम जी जन्म लियो हे आज सनाथ भाई अयोध्या राजा दशरथ घर राम जी जन्म लियो हे आज सनाथ भाई अयोध्या आज सनाथ भाई राजा दशरथ घर राम आज सनाथ भाई सनाथ भाई रतनान भूमि छय है हीरा लाल लगे पलना में झूलता राम जी साहित आज सनाथ आज सनाथ Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Feeling so blessed. We don't get to hear music like that these days, and it brings that calmness to get us ready for the story. Thank you, Lakshmi, for coming and joining us and singing for us, and all the hard work that you put into learning this beautiful art so that it can stay alive and be passed on to future generations. I hope everybody has their creative things. If anybody wants to ask any questions about the creative activity before we begin, now's a good time, because once I start telling the story, then I don't want interruptions.
I have one question. Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes, of course, definitely. Everybody should go to the bathroom whenever they need to. Do not hold it. That's not good for you. Any other questions?
I'm painting. This is. Can I also use some other things other than paint?
Anything you want. You can do anything you want. I'll just check in at the end of the story so that you can show me whatever you have done. Because you're so creative, I trust you to do anything that keeps your attention, because the story is kind of long. I don't want you to get bored. Good question. Who else has a question? Do I have your permission to start? If I do, give me a thumbs up on the reactions. Thank you. I see enough thumbs up to go ahead. No more interruptions now. Let me begin with how old the story is. I already mentioned it's 5,000 years old, but 5,000 years old is when it was first written down. Before it was written, it was just told when people spoke to each other, and they just remembered the story. And everybody remembered it. So grandparents told it to the grandkids. Grandkids grew up and became parents. Then they told it to their kids and their grandkids. And the story stayed alive for a very long time. And then 5,000 years ago, Valmiki, a sage, said, what if somebody forgets? Let's write it down. So it's perfect that we started with you performing it, because that's how it was originally done. And you did it so quickly in 15 minutes, but 5,000 years ago and today in India, it's a story that needs at least 15 days to tell. Isn't that fun? That's probably the longest story anybody's ever heard. That's why it's called an epic. It's an epic story, because it takes so long. It's not a quick bedtime story that you listen to and go to sleep. You sit down patiently, you listen to meditative music that calms you, and the story goes on for 15 days. And because it's so old, everybody who gets to tell it gets to make up their own version of it. And you can reinvent it creatively, just as you did. We heard your version. Now we get to hear my version. And you might see some of the same pictures that you saw when your play was being performed, because I have the same book as the book from where your director might have taken the pictures. So as I'm telling you the story, I will use this modern version of the Ramayana book and tell you the story from there. I assume you're all very good kids who listen to your parents, because you listened to my instructions and started doing creative things. Long time ago, at the beginning of the story, there was a very good kid. His name was Shravan Kumar. He always took care of his parents, always listened to them, never lied, never cheated, did all the chores and the housework. And then as he grew up, his parents got really old. And as they got old, they couldn't see properly anymore. Just as I have to now wear glasses. If I don't wear glasses, I don't feel I can read anymore. Back then, they didn't have glasses, so they went blind and they couldn't see. But they wanted to go to the temple. So they told Shravan Kumar, we're like blind people, we can't see, but we want to go to the temple. Can you take us? And the temple was far away on the other side of the forest. But Shravan Kumar wanted to take care of his parents. So he said, yes, I will take you. So he put two of his parents in two giant baskets, and he tied them together, the baskets, on a pole, and he put the pole on his shoulder and carried them through the forest to go to the temple. They got thirsty along the way, and they said, oh, this is far away, we are thirsty. So he put the forest, in the forest, he put the basket down and said, you wait here, I will go find some water from the river and bring it for you. When he went to get water from the river, suddenly an arrow came and hit him. And he was injured. He was about to die. And then the person who put the arrow on him was a king who was hunting in the forest. So the king thought he had killed a deer, and he came running to get his deer that he had killed. And then he saw it was a young man. He said, I didn't expect to have any young men in the forest. Young man, what are you doing in the forest? I am so sorry. I thought I was killing a deer by the river. When I heard the sound of somebody taking water from the river, I thought it was a deer drinking the water. I didn't know there were young men in the forest. What are you doing here? Shravan Kumar said, my parents are sitting a little distance away. They cannot see anymore. I was taking them to the temple, And that's why I was getting water for them. Please, they're thirsty. Can you take water to them? I am tired and I'm dying because your arrow's killing me. I am not able to take the water to my parents. The king said, I'm so sorry. I will take the water to your parents and I will take care of them. And then he took the water. He tried to help Shravan Kumar, but he also had to go give the water to the parents. And he saw that Shravan Kumar was almost dead and he just died in his, after saying, please take the water to my parents. So the king took the water and he went to his parents and said, I am so sorry, here's your water, but I have some bad news for you. I mistook the sound of the water being taken from the river as a deer drinking the water, and I shot the arrow without seeing, and I accidentally killed your son. The parents were very, very sad. This was the biggest tragedy that could happen. They were so sad and so mad at the king to say, you killed our son. May you, when you have a son, also suffer so that you don't get to be together with your son when he becomes a young man. They cursed him. And then they also died because they were so sad. This king, his name was Dashrath. Dashrath was the king of Ayodhya. The song you just heard was the song telling people about how the king of Ayodhya has a newborn baby called Ram. Ram was born in Ayodhya. Dashrath had 3 wives and he had 4 sons. King Dashrath was, let me show you some pictures. You've been listening to my voice. I forgot to show you the pictures from the book, which might help. So here's a picture of Valmiki, the sage Valmiki writing the Ramayana. I don't have pictures in this of Shravan Kumar, but here's a picture of the 4 children that were born to King Dashrath and his 3 wives. So the oldest of the 4 boys was Ram. And the story of Ramayana is mostly the story of Ram because there are too many other stories. Dashrath was very fond of all his sons. So that's a picture of King Dashrath playing with his 4 boys and enjoying their time. I hope you get to enjoy playtime with your parents. So he enjoyed them when they were little. And he sent them away to study with the sage. The sage taught them all the things that a prince needs to learn. All the princes became very, very good at the art of archery, which was the main weapon then, so that the kings can defend their kingdom and they can fight off any invaders. So just as Dashrath was very good at the bow and arrow, all his 4 boys learned bow and arrow and became very, very good at using the bow and arrow. So good that they were tested by killing demons and they were able to eliminate all the bad guys. As they grew up, Ram went to a kingdom near Ayodhya, the kingdom of Janak. And at King Janak's place, there was a big bow. It was Shiva's bow that was so heavy that nobody could lift it. And Janak had a daughter called Sita. And Sita said, I will marry whoever can lift Shiva's bow. So Ram was the strong young man, well-trained, who was able to lift Shiva's bow and break it easily. So he got to marry Prince Janak's daughter, Sita, and they were happily married in this beautiful, beautiful ceremony. When he brought the bride home to Ayodhya, the king said to him, I'm getting old. I may have to retire. I will make you king because you're my oldest son. When he said that, Ram was very happy. His mother Kaushalya was very happy. But he had a younger brother whose name was Bharat. Bharat's mom was Kekai. Kekai felt, if Ram becomes king, he will take good care of Kaushalya, but he may not take good care of me when I get old. Maybe my son Bharat should be the king. So she went to King Dashrath, her husband, and said to him, remember, you had made me a promise that if I ask for something, you will never say no to me. He said, yes, what do you want? I'm the king. I can give you anything you want. She said, I want my son Bharat to be the king, and I want Ram to be sent off to the forest for 14 years. King Dashrath was heartbroken, and he said, are you sure you want this? She said, yes, that's what I want. He said, it'll break my heart because Ram is the oldest son and oldest prince becomes the king. And if he goes away for 14 years to the forest, I will be so lonely. She said, you will break your promise if you don't do what you promised you would do. So King Dashrath said, okay, I will keep my promise. And he called Ram and he said to him, sorry, I'm not going to make you the king. I'm going to give the kingdom to Bharat, your younger brother, and you have to go to the forest and live in the forest for 14 years. And he remembered then that the curse was put on him by the parents of Shravan Kumar. And they had said to him, when your son grows up, you will also not get to live with him. You will also be sad and separated from him. So he repented again that his son, who was now all grown up and about to be made king, had instead to be sent off to the forest. But Ram was a good son. He listened to his father and his mother, and he said, whatever you say, father, no problem, I'm going to go live in the forest for 14 years. When he said that, his wife Sita said, you're not going alone, I'm coming with you. He said to her, you're used to living in the palace, sleeping on a big comfortable bed. In the forest, we will have to sleep on the floor and live under the trees in a simple hut. You're a princess, you may not be able to take the hardship. She said, I will be able to take the hardship. I want to be where my husband is. I will go with you. Ram had a younger brother, another one other than Bharat. Remember, there were 4 brothers. Lakshman was the second youngest. Lakshman said to him, I love you so much, my brother. I cannot live without you for 14 years. I am coming with you too. So all 3 of them, Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, left Ayodhya to go to the forest for 14 years. And everybody in the Ayodhya kingdom was sad because they had been looking forward to Ram becoming the king. And suddenly they had to send him off to live in the forest like a simple person with no palace to live in, no bed to sleep in, no servants to help, no silk clothing to wear, just to eat what you find in the forest, the fruits from the trees, and be exposed to the dangers of tigers and lions and other wild animals that live in the forest. So they were all very sad as well, but they sent him off, wishing him luck and saying, may you be safe, may we be able to celebrate 14 years later when you come back. We will not forget you, even though you will be far away from us. We will keep you close in our heart, just as many of us are far away from our grandparents who live in India or other cousins and family in India, but we keep them close to our heart and we remember them. And luckily now we have phones to chat with them and talk with them, but they didn't have that. They said, we will just remember you and keep you safe in our memory and welcome you when you come back after 14 years. And they bid him farewell. As they bid him farewell, his father Dashrath was so heartbroken and so sad that he died. He said, I cannot live without my son, just as Shravan Kumar's parents had died. When Shravan Kumar died, when Ram left for the village, for the forest, his father Dashrath, out of sheer sadness, died. So all the queens were really sad as well that he had passed away. And Ram, Sita, and Lakshman started a new life, not as a prince wearing jewels and fine clothing, but as simple people wearing simple clothing, ready to live a simple life like that of a sadhu. This begins the new phase of the story. Everybody says, Siyapati Ram Chandra ki jai.
Siyapati Ram Chandra ki jai.
Very nice. So this would be about 7 days into the story. People would get to take a break now if they wanted to, if they were at the Ram Leela. When Bharat came back, he saw that his brother Ram had gone and he felt really sad. He said, I don't want the kingdom. I want Ram to come back. But they said, oh, he's gone. He can't come back. He said, I'm going to go to the forest and bring him back. So he went to the forest and he met his brother and gave him a big hug and said, brother, everybody misses you. I miss you. I don't want the kingdom. Please come back and be the king. Our father has died. There is no king in Ayodhya. Ram said to him, I made a promise to my father. I will be in the forest for 14 years. I cannot come back till I've finished 14 years. So I will not go back home with you. Bharat said to him, I'm going to take your slippers and put them on the throne and save the king's seat for you till you come back. I'm not going to be the king. We will all wait for you. I will do the jobs that need to be done as a king, but you will become the king when you come back. I will put your slippers on the throne of the king and rule on your behalf just till you come back. Ram, Sita, and Lakshman built themselves a hut to live in the forest with things that they found. And they made a beautiful garden around there, and they called this place Panchvati. So they had a nice little life in Panchvati where there was a river that they could get the water from. Sita would cook and feed everybody. Ram and Lakshman would go and find the berries and fruits from the trees, and they started living this simple life at Panchvati. While they were in the forest, there was a demoness who saw how handsome Ram was, and she fell in love with him, and she wanted to marry him. So she said, he's not going to marry me if he sees that I'm this ugly demoness. So with her magical powers, she transformed herself into this beautiful young woman, and she went to Ram as she saw Ram and Lakshman looking for fruits on the trees and said, hey, Ram, you're so handsome and I am so beautiful. Wouldn't we make a nice couple? Maybe we should get married. How about you marry me? And Ram laughed at her and said, I'm already married. I have a wife at home in Panchvati. You can marry my brother Lakshman if you want. He's not married. So she looked at that and said, nah, she wanted to marry Lakshman. Ram, she didn't want to marry Lakshman, but Lakshman looked at her and he didn't want to marry her. And he thought she was evil to even ask his brother to marry her. So he got angry, and when his brother teased him and said, hey, you can marry this woman, and the woman was looking beautiful, he took out his sword and he cut her nose off and said, I don't want to marry her. I don't care for this evil woman who tried to seduce you and said, marry me when you already have a wife. How dare she suggest something like that? And the minute he cut off her nose, her magic spell broke, and instead of the beautiful woman, she turned into her real demoness appearance, which was really ugly and horrible. And that's when Ram and Lakshman realized that they were clever to not fall for her tricks, and they did the right thing by making good decisions. And she ran away, nursing her nose, to her brother. Her brother was Raman. He was the king of an island nation that was near India called Sri Lanka. And she flew to her brother and said, look, in the forest, there is a place called Panchvati where there are two handsome men and they have a beautiful woman with them. I was trying to bring that beautiful woman to you and they cut off my nose. You should go see this beautiful woman and get her yourself because you will like her. And you should take revenge because they cut off my nose and insulted me. And you're my brother. You defend my honor and you go and take revenge from these two young men. The king of Sri Lanka, which was a very prosperous nation, it was made of gold and very beautiful. He was very angry that somebody had cut off his sister's nose. He said, I will go and take revenge. So he flies over in his flying chariot and goes to Panchvati. And he sees Sita and he realizes how beautiful she is and says, even if she is already married to somebody, and even if she's in these simple clothing looking so beautiful, if she dresses up as a princess, as my queen, and wears jewels, she would look so amazing. She would be the fitting queen for Sri Lanka, the kingdom of gold. I have to take her. But these people are very honest. These people are very moral. They do not want to marry other people who propose to them just because they're already married. We don't believe in all that, but we have to trick them. So he decides to study what they might be able to be tricked by, because they clearly weren't tricked by the beauty of Surupnakha if she came as a beautiful woman. So he said, they look like honest people who would be kind to sages. I'm going to come as a sage. They look like kind people who will be kind to animals. I will come as a golden deer. So he magically transforms himself into a golden deer and he goes to the garden outside Panchvati where Sita sees the golden deer and says, I've never seen a deer this beautiful. It's golden. I want that. She tells Ram, please, can you get this golden deer for me? We will have him as a pet. Ram says, yes. And he goes to capture the deer and the deer runs away. The deer is really Raman and he runs away, far away into the dense forest. Ram is chasing him and he gets lost in the forest chasing the golden deer because the golden deer, of course, changed form and became a sage. He knew Sita was alone now because Ram had gone chasing the deer. And because Ram was lost, Ram starts calling out for help and says, help, Lakshman, come help, I'm lost. So Lakshman has to go help his brother. Sita's alone in Panchvati. And before Lakshman goes, he puts a magic spell at the garden gate and says to Sita, if you stay in Panchvati, you will be safe because no evil can cross this magic line. But if you step outside the line, then the magic is broken and you may not be safe alone. So please stay indoors, don't go out. Sita says, fine, I will stay home. Sometimes when your parents go shopping or go out somewhere, they tell you to stay home and they tell you don't open the door to any strangers, stay safe. You have
Like
to
babysitting? And babysitter comes?
If there is no babysitter, you can sit by yourself too as you get older, as long as you pay attention to what the parents
I always
are saying.
come with my parents.
So he went away, Sita was by herself, and a sage comes. This sage is Raman pretending to be a sage. So he comes and says, I am so hungry. Is anybody at home who can give me some food? Now Sita is very compassionate. She brings some food and she tries to hand it to him, from the inside the house at the doorway to say, "Here, sage, you're hungry. Please take some food." And he says, "That's an insult to me." So that's him pretending to be a sage and Sita offering some food from the safety of the magical line that Lakshman had drawn and saying, "Take the food." And the sage pretends to be really angry and say, "That's not how you give me food. I am a sage. You show respect by coming out and offering it to me properly." So she steps outside the house and the magic spell is broken, and he takes his real form and he puts her in his flying chariot and kidnaps her and says, "Ha! I'm gonna steal you, take you far away to Sri Lanka." In his flying chariot, he takes her away and says, "You're going to have to marry me and be my queen because I love you so much, and now you're all mine." She's realized what has happened. She tries to scream for help. Some birds flying in the sky, one in particular called Jatayu, sees them flying and he tries to help her, and Ravan cuts off his wings so he can't fly. So he falls to the ground with his broken wing, where Ram and Lakshman have now realized that they have been tricked, and they find this bird. They help the bird to say, "What happened to you? Who hit you?" And the bird tells them the story of what happened. And he said, "When you get to Panchvati, Sita Mata won't be there because she has been kidnapped by Ravan, the evil king of Sri Lanka, and you will have to go find her there, and you will have to save her because he's evil and he's wanting to marry her." So Ram and Lakshman decide they have to, they thank Jatayu for helping them and telling them the story and trying to save Sita, and say to Jatayu, "Thank you, we will find Sita, we will rescue her, we will make sure the bad guys don't get the good girl." And they honor him. That's why we worship him to this day, because he was so good. Ram and Lakshman go back to Panchvati. Sure enough, they don't see Sita. They now know they have to prepare for battle and go to Sri Lanka to rescue her, but they don't really know how they will get there, how they don't have a flying chariot. They don't have all the luxuries of that a king has to bring an army to fight. And they are worried and they start walking towards Sri Lanka. As they're walking, they meet a monkey. The monkey has heard stories of Ram and Lakshman in the village, in the forest, and he is a big fan and he loves Ram, and he greets them by touching their feet in respect and says, "I am so delighted to see you. I am such a big fan of you. I love you. How can I help? Why are you wandering around the forest and so far away from Panchvati, walking towards Sri Lanka?" And then they tell Hanuman the story of what has happened and say, "The evil king Ravan has stolen Sita and taken her to Sri Lanka. We are going to go rescue her. So can you help us?" And he says, "Yes, I can help you. I can fly to Sri Lanka and see if she's okay. And then I can bring you news of her." So Ram still had his wedding ring. So he takes his wedding ring off and he gives it to Hanuman and says, "Sita may not recognize you, but take this ring and give it to her when you meet her and tell her not to be afraid. Tell her that we are coming to rescue her and she will be safe, and do not be fearful of Ravan and just wait for us because we will definitely come." So Hanuman was a magical monkey. He's the son of the wind god. So he has one of the magical powers of being able to change his shape. So he became really large and he flew all the way with one jump across from India to this island nation of Sri Lanka, and he went to Sri Lanka and he found Sita sitting in the garden. And then he changed back his form to the monkey form, and he was on the tree right above Sita. She was sitting there looking a little sad, and he drops the ring from the tree into her lap. And suddenly she sees this ring and says, "This is Ram's ring. How did this come here?" And she looks up and there's a monkey. And the monkey says to her, "I am Ram's friend. I have come to bring you a message. Ram is coming. He will come and rescue you. He will fight the king of Sri Lanka. He will defeat Ravan. Don't listen to him. Don't do anything that Ravan tells you to do, because you will be free very soon. Be patient and be brave. This ring is a way for you to know that your friends are coming." So that's Sita getting the ring from Hanuman, and Hanuman telling her that they're coming to rescue. She should be okay, be safe, and be patient. So if you're ever in a difficult situation where somebody's being mean to you, maybe there's a bully at school or somebody evil.
In my old school, there was a bully that bullied me a lot, and I just tried to run away from her, but he was like, ha 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 ha, and he was
Yeah,
pretty
so you can remember, just as Sita did, that you have friends, that you have parents, you have older brother or sisters, maybe somebody who, or teachers, or the lunch lady, somebody will come and help, because evil doesn't survive long. Good people always win. So when Sita gets the ring, she gets the courage that she has friends, she has her husband, she has Ram and Lakshman and Hanuman who will come and rescue her. She's not going to be bullied by Ravan. She's going to say no and stand firm to what is right for her to do and not listen to evil people. Even though Ravan is trying to scare her and say, "If you don't listen to me, I will kill you, I will do harm to you." When she was talking to Hanuman, one of the guards who was watching Sita saw that, and they went and told Ravan that, look, these were the evil demonesses guarding Sita. They saw the ring that was being given to her by the monkey, and they say, "Hey, there's a monkey who's trying to talk to Sita. Do something." So Ravan comes out and says to her, "Don't you dare do anything. You can't run away. The monkey can't do anything to help you. You will have to marry me. Pay attention. We are totally in control of who you are, what you do. Who's this monkey talking to you? I'm going to punish the monkey." So he tells the demonesses to capture the monkey, and he tells Hanuman, "I'm going to set you on fire to teach everybody a lesson to not come and talk to my prisoners." And he puts a rag on Hanuman's tail and sets it on fire. And when Hanuman's tail is on fire, Hanuman, with his magical power, becomes much bigger, much bigger, much bigger, and he starts flying over the city, and he lets his tail drag over the city, and he puts the entire city on fire. So Ravan's revenge of trying to kill Hanuman doesn't work, because Hanuman is the original Superman. He's stronger than Spider-Man, Superman, Wonder Woman, everybody. He sets the whole city on fire. So instead of being a city of gold, it becomes a city of fire that gets burnt down to the ground. And he leaps back and he goes and meets Ram again and says to him, "Ram, I met Sita. She's safe. She's in the garden. She got your ring. She won't be afraid. Let's prepare for battle. We are going to go rescue her, and we will make sure we win. And I will help you." And he calls all the monkeys from everywhere in the forest. So all the monkeys come and make up an army of monkeys called Vanar Sena. And they build a bridge with the rocks that they find to connect India to the island nation of Sri Lanka. And on that bridge, once the bridge is made, Ram and Lakshman go cross over the ocean to go fight that big epic battle to confront Ravan and said, evil doesn't survive in front of good. You have taken our wife. We are going to win her back. And the good is on our side. So they have this epic battle where all the army, all the soldiers, all the weapons that the king has are not enough, because with the help of monkeys and their archery skills from how their father had taught them to be valiant, brave princes, they were able to fight and win this very uneven battle. Sometimes when good and evil are fighting, good feels like there are very few people, but evil seems like there are very many people, hundreds of them. But even the few good people are enough to win. Just as Ram, Lakshman, and all the monkeys with the help of Hanuman were very few, but Ravan had all the army and the soldiers and the weapons. He lost the battle. With one big arrow shot, Ram was able to kill Ravan and win the war. And Ravan was very clever, you know, they show him as having 10 heads. And it wasn't that he had 10 heads, it really is because he was as bright as 10 people working together. He had like 10 times the brain of anybody else, but that brain worked for evil causes, so he couldn't win the battle. And when Ram and Lakshman killed him, he died. That's the day we celebrate Dashera. On Dashera, I don't know if you got to celebrate it this year, we celebrate that Ram has killed Ravan and Ravan dies, evil ends, and the good things begin. The rule of the good people begins again. So after Dashera, we start celebrating and preparing for Diwali. And once they kill Ravan, then they start walking back. It's almost the end of 14 years. They walk back all the way to Ayodhya now, because it's time for them to be reunited with their family. And they arrive in Ayodhya on the day of Diwali. And everybody remembers them from 14 years ago. Everybody puts lamps out to welcome them. They decorate the lamps, they clean up the house, they wear new clothes, just as you do for a wedding or for birthday or other celebrations, because it's a very special day. After 14 long years, their favorite prince is coming back to Ayodhya. And when Diwali happens to this day, we all wear nice clothes, clean up the house, decorate it, get ready for prayers and celebrations with our family. We tell the story of Ramayana between Dashera and Diwali, those 15 days. Every night we sit together, we share stories. There are hundreds of more stories in Ramayana. Just as you did the 15-minute version and I did the 50-minute version, there is a 15-day version that can be done with many, many other stories, which I didn't get into. And for 15 days, everybody celebrates and eats good things together. And when Ram comes home, they make him the king. And that's why Diwali is celebrated and prosperity comes back. And we celebrate that by ending with the prayer to Lakshmi, because that is the way to welcome wealth and goodness and the triumph of everything good that happens. And I will end the story there because you have been amazing in listening with so much attention and care. I am now curious to see what you have created and to take any questions or comments that you might have. And to, so if you can turn on your videos and show me what you have made and any reactions you have to the story, I would be very happy to hear them. Gorgeous, lovely. Navi, I love the color choices. What did you draw? Sunny, do you have a drawing? I don't see it. Oh yeah, now I can see it. Beautiful. Very nice.
I'll stop my background so you can see it.
Oh yeah, your background still has a Halloween costume wearing person.
No, that's just my mother.
Oh, beautiful. I love that.
It's Ravan's kingdom.
Nice.
And what is this?
I love all the minarets that you made.
The tree is actually the Ashok Vatika.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. It was fun seeing your show of Ramayana, seeing what you have created. Thank you. Hopefully we will get to meet in person. You can come and visit. I have a garden outside with a slide. We can hang out outside as long as we wear our mask and stay 6 feet away. Be safe. Wish you a very happy Diwali. Siyapati Ramchandra ki jai.
Yay! Thank you, Jyoti Amma. Thank you very much for joining and wonderful, telling the wonderful story. It was so engaging. Everybody listened to it and the pictures were amazing. That was so great. Thank you for joining. So did everybody enjoy? I guess, yeah, it was a little bit later. So
I joined. I enjoyed.
Great. Thank you. I would also like to add earlier, we forgot to add somebody's names while we giving credits for the show. The picture, the recording which everybody saw was done by Mudit. He is in India, so he's studying engineering, and he used to stay up late to join all these recordings and all these videos together. And the pictures are actually what Jyoti Amma said, what Jyoti Auntie said, that the pictures we took actually were from this. Yes.
No. Okay.
So this book is by, all the drawings are by Mr. Sharma.
Okay.
I'm not
They are
telling
really
you,
good drawings.
right?
I think we used them in our show. So it was so nice having you all here and enjoying the story time and show your creativity. It was just amazing. And I would like to also give credit to Parth, who edited our trailer video, which we showed earlier. And Udit, who edited all our the main show.
You need to sleep with me. Then go.
Main show of Ram Leela.
You sleep over here.
Sita, Navya, do you want to show? Navya, did you share your art?
Yeah, I want to tell what I made it from. Okay, if I wait, then I need to let me cancel this show. I made it from wax. I made it from wax and paint. I melted wax with my hot glue gun. When I want to cancel the show, you're gonna cancel the show.
Very nice, Navya.
I can color with the diya.
Does the wax take colors?
Is this one?
Yeah.
The purple part is the wax.
Oh, nice.
Everything here is all the wax. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I can also color with the diya because it's a wax. I cannot turn on my video.
I'm sorry, I can't help with your video. Somebody in your house will have to help you with that.
Okay, so bye. It's my bedtime now. So bye.
Yeah, it's school time.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you, everybody for joining. Thank you, Jyoti Amma. And it was amazing seeing you again after such a long time.
Have a happy Diwali, everybody. Happy
Happy
New Year.
Diwali. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Navya.
Bye.
Bye, Sita ji.
Bye. Bye.
Yes, Didi. Didi. Didi.